Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about common houseplants, affordable houseplants, plants you don't have to dump a bunch of cash into, that are easy to grow in pretty much any conditions. Okay, let's get back to basics, guys. If you're new in my channel, hey, I'm Nicole. Welcome. I'm really glad that you're here. I appreciate you taking the time to subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't already, consider giving it a little subby sub. Okay, so first up, the first plant I want to talk about that's super easy, super affordable, and pretty damn prolific. MONSTERA, DELICIOSA. I have a few of these surrounding my house. I like to stick them like on the shelf. I like to stick them in places that, you know, need a little bit of bigger plantage, if you will. I don't know, there's just something about this plant that's just so simple. It was one of my first plants that I got into. I thought I saw a pest. It was one of the first plants I got into when I started my collection, and I've only had one MONSTERA DELICIOSA, and from that, which is this one, from this plant, I've literally created probably 10 plus plants. I've given them to friends, I've given them to family, I have put them all over my house. We have a couple in the basement. They're just easy. They're easy plants, they're affordable, so you can get a pretty nice size plant for probably under 30 bucks. I just love them so much. Next up, a plant that you wouldn't think to be on the list is a HOYA CARNOSA. Just a plain old basic HOYA CARNOSA. These plants are so easy to care for. I have them in soil, I have them in leca. They grow nonstop. They don't stop. They're easy to propagate, so you can give them to friends and family. And they're just super easy plants, and they get pretty big. This will definitely start to trail. Oh, it is already trailing. Look at that, it's already trailing. I mean, these plants are so easy to care for, and they're pretty inexpensive. It's probably one of the more common HOYA on the market. Start with a CARNOSA if you've never tried a HOYA before. And if you don't have plants, give it a try. Next up is my philodendron MICANS. This is a baby, this is a cutting I took off of my other plant, but these plants, once they start, they don't stop. I mean, they trail like crazy. The leaves are just so beautiful. They have this soft texture, deep green. The new leaves come in this pinkish red color. And philodendron MICANS used to be a plant that it was sought out. People really wanted this plant. And now it's fairly inexpensive. So great starter plant, I say, in my opinion. Next up is Sansevieria. Any Sansevieria. The snake plant, once recently called a Sansevieria, is now called a Dracaena, but we are not gonna get into that. Any type of snake plant, you put it in, don't put it in a dark corner, but you could put it in a very non-lit area and it'll do okay. Put it like 10 feet from a window, that girl's good to go, okay? All plants need light. Don't come at me in the comments, but Sansevieria, snake plants, don't need a lot of light. And they're very easy. You just don't have to water them very often. I water mine maybe once a month, the ones that I have in soil. This is in leca and it's loving its life. I mean, check them roots out, because she's a Sansevieria and she's not high maintenance. Another one on my list is SYNGONIUM. SYNGONIUM is so easy to grow. Now, I used to kind of be like, I wasn't a huge fan of SYNGONIUM. I don't know what it was. I just wasn't a big fan of like the leaf shape. It just looked really basic to me. I don't know. And what is basic, Nicole? Like, what are you even talking about? Anyway, it wasn't my favorite until I got one and I saw how fast they grow and how little maintenance they needed, and I was like, okay, sold. Now, I have heard that these are a little bit more prone to spider mites, so just make sure you're checking them, make sure you're washing your leaves, keep an eye on your SYNGONIUM. There's many different types of SYNGONIUM, but this is just the SYNGONIUM arrowhead green, very basic version. I actually don't know what the exact name of this one is, but there's no variegation. She's simple. These grow big. They really do. I mean, it's got like 3 new leaves coming in right now. Okay, next up on my list, I'm gonna take you over with the camera over here, is my SCINDAPSUS PICTUS. This plant is so beautiful and so easy to grow. I've taken cuttings off of this plant so many times, and I've given it to friends and family. I've propagated it and put it in other areas of my house. I absolutely love it. I need to trim off this bottom piece to prune it so that I can make this plant a little bit more full. But I love this plant, and I would recommend this for anybody starting a collection because it's seriously so easy. And then last on my list is also streamed along my wall, is just a good old golden pothos. I am telling you guys that I've had this plant for a few years. I've taken countless cuttings. Seriously, I used to experiment with this plant all the time. And since I put it in LECA, it's gone nuts. And a few people told me that pothos don't necessarily like LECA, but do you see mine? It's growing across my ceiling. It looks great in an office. It looks great in your house, like on top of the cabinet with a little bit of light. It needs light, but it's just one of those plants that will just be super resilient for you and make you happy that you started a plant collection. Those are my top common house plants that are easy and affordable to start with. If you're new to the plant community, I want to welcome you here. If 2020 brought you here, hi, I see you. I may have came in before 2020, but I was right there with you, learning and growing with my plants. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can still give it a thumbs down. I'm not gonna judge you. I won't be mad. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Sorry.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.